Well, as they say on the American quiz shows, the little old clock on the wall has beaten us once again, and I've not won the car for the third week running. That's all from me, Alex Lester. Back tomorrow morning at 4 o'clock. Now, if you live in Surrey, for the very first time, we hand you over to a brand new radio station, BBC Radio Surrey.
And you've waited a long time for a BBC radio station in this part of the world. And today, our staff of 12 journalists, producers and engineers turned what has been months of planning into a reality. Good morning and welcome. BBC Radio Surrey broadcasts on 104.6 FM. And from now on, our promise to you is the latest news and current affairs, be they international, national or local issues, all presented with the help of Surrey people. In a few minutes after our first news, I'll be with you for the first edition of the John Terrett Breakfast Programme. And in the programme, in the first hour, a new chairman of the Conservative Backbench Committee on Europe, and one believed to have John Major's blessing. Where now for the Tory sceptics? A Serb and Croatian living in Surrey assessed Lord Carrington's chances of bringing peace to troubled Yugoslavia. And the Lockerbie bombing. Will charges be pressed nearly 3 years after the disaster? It's all coming up.
Broadcasting on 104.6 FM, this is BBC Radio Surrey. News.
It's 6 o'clock. This is Caroline Tomset. Reports from Washington say charges are about to be filed over the Lockerbie bombing 3 years ago.
It's the 14th of November, 1991, a day that we'll never forget, and hopefully a day that you'll never forget as well. Now, you've heard some of the topics that we'll be dealing with in this first hour of the programme, but I thought it would be rather nice just to introduce you to some of the people at this early stage who you'll be meeting during the course of the next 3 hours. Now, you've already met me, and you've met Caroline Tomset, who's our newsreader this morning. We have a reporter here. Her name is Becky Milligan. At the moment, she's driving our radio car down to Milford, just south of Guildford, and she'll be reporting later on the traffic situation in the county. We're doing a special report on that today, because one of the things we think is that there's so much congestion in the county that traffic news is of prime importance. June Kelly spoke to Bert Ammerman, one of the American relatives who was at the meeting.
Well, we met with the Lord Advocate last Friday. He indicated to us that he would be making...
Well, now, isn't that just typical? You launch a brand new radio station, everything goes extremely well until you play your first tape, and that's unfortunate that should happen. Let's join June Kelly, who's talking to Bert Ammerman, and hopefully a little more precisely.
When we met with the Lord Advocate last Friday...